Okay, this is the part 11 of chemical coordination integration. In this part, we are going to learn thyroid gland, which is the largest endocrine gland. One gland with the two lobes, isthmus. It connects. There are two lobes. The two lobes are connected by a connective tissue flap called isthmus. This is the largest endocrine gland in our body. Largest gland in our body is the liver. Only one gland, which is the only gland which is very close to the body surface. It lies on the ventral side of the larynx. For example, this is the larynx, this is the dorsal side of the larynx, this is the ventral side of the larynx. We have on the ventral side, this is thyroid gland. It lies between the, this is the, for example, this is the larynx, this is the trachea. Between these two, there is a thyroid gland. What is the origin? Endodermal in origin. Earlier you learnt hypothalamus present in the brain. Ectodermal in origin. Brain is ectodermal in origin. Okay, pituitary gland is ectodermal in origin. Okay, pineal gland is ectodermal in origin. Okay, those all are present in the brain. Brain is ectodermal in origin, therefore they are also ectodermal in origin. This is the endodermal in origin, and it contains many lobules. It contains many lobules are present, and the cavity of the lobule is called colloid. It stores thyroxine hormone and glycoprotein, GP glycoprotein, thyroglobulin, and here very important point. It consists of cuboidal epithelium. You learned earlier, cuboidal epithelium or columnar epithelium forms a glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium. You learned in the epithelial tissue. Glandular epithelium consists of either columnar cells or cuboidal cells are modified into glandular epithelium. Here, cuboidal epithelium is modified into glandular epithelium to produce hormone. Okay, this cuboidal epithelium surrounds the colloid. This is the colloid, and this is the cuboidal epithelium. And the structural and functional units of this thyroid gland are called follicles. Follicles are the structure, and this is one follicle, this is one follicle, this is one follicle. There are many follicles are present. Follicles are the structure and function unit of the thyroid gland. What are the structure and function unit of living organism? You know. What is the structure and function unit of bone? You know, I think. What is the structure and function unit of nervous system? What is the structure and function unit of kidney? Structure and function unit of lungs? Structure and function unit of muscle contraction? And structure and function unit of the biosphere, and structure and function unit of this thyroid gland. You know these all, I think. Okay, follicular cells and extra follicular cells are parafollicular cells. Here there are some cells, these are called parafollicular cells. These are follicle has cells called follicular cells. You know, in the ovary also follicles are there. Here also follicles are there. In the ovary also there is a cuboidal epithelium. Here also there is a cuboidal epithelium, and this follicular cells, the follicle contains cells called follicular cells, and these follicular cells are cuboidal cells. Okay, cuboidal cells, follicular cells. So what are follicular cells? The cuboidal cells present in the follicular core, thyroid follicles are called follicular cells. Okay, they produce two types of hormone, T3 and T4. T4 and triiodothyronine, tetraiodothyronine. Okay, T4 is called thyroxine, very important one. 80%, this is the 20% less effective, and this is more effective. T3 is more effective, and it is 20 times more effective than T4. Okay, 20 times more effective than T4. Okay, T4, T3, tetraiodothyronine, triiodothyronine. Okay, which element is required for the formation of thyroxine? Iodine. Okay, that's what it called. Which is important for the formation of hemoglobin? Iron. Which is important for the formation of B12 vitamin? Cobalt. Which is important for the formation of chlorophyll? Magnesium. Here, okay, next one next one is 20%. T3 20%. T3 20%, T4 80%, less effective. This is the less one but more effective, and 20 times more than T4. Okay, now come to this part. Okay, what is this one? Okay, functions of thyrocalcitonin. Okay, next other part is there here. Okay, around this follicle, okay, here in these spaces there are extra follicular cells are called parafollicular cells, or C cells are present outside the follicle, and they secrete one hormone called TCT, thyrocalcitonin. Okay, observe this diagram, and these are follicle. The follicles produce the T3, T4, And if there are parafollicular cells are there, extra follicular cells are there outside the follicles. Okay, like the seminiferous tubules, so there form the sperms. Outside the seminiferous there is the interstitial space, there are cells of the Leydig cells are there, Leydig cells are present there. Okay, like that here also extra follicular cells outside the follicle, they produce thyrocalcitonin, TCT, thyrocalcitonin. Okay, thyrocalcitonin hormone. Now let us talk about thyrocalcitonin. Okay, the functions of first we talk about thyrocalcitonin, then we go to functions of the thyroxine hormone. Okay, it is called hypocalcemic hormone. Now you must know what is the hypoglycemic hormone, hyperglycemic hormone, hypocalcemic hormone, hypercalcemic hormone. These four were important. They may ask in one matching, one bit. Hypercalcemic hormone, hypocalcemic hormone, hyperglycemic hormone, hypoglycemic hormone, hypocalcemic hormone. Okay, which hormone is produced in a hypocalcemic condition, hypocalcemic condition, hypercalcemic condition, hypoglycemic condition. ఏ హార్మోన్ ఏ కండిషన్లో రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది, ఏ హార్మోన్ ఏమంటాం అన్నది మీకు తెలిసి ఉండాలి క్లియర్గా. హైపోకాల్సిమిక్ హార్మోన్. హైపో అంటే బ్లడ్లో కాల్షియంని తగ్గిస్తుంది, ఇది హైపో లో. Okay, how can it reduce the? Now you can observe here, it is a thyrocalcitonin hormone. It is carrying from the blood, it is reducing calcium levels in the blood, it is depositing the calcium in the bone. That's why it is reduced calcium level in the blood, because it is carrying from the blood calcium to the bone. Okay, hypocalcium, because it is reducing calcium, it is reducing calcium levels in our blood. That's why it is called hypocalcemic hormone. Reduce calcium levels in the blood. It activates osteoblast. You learned in the bone there are osteocyte, osteoblast, osteoclast. Osteoclasts are the phagocytic cell, osteocytes are the bone cell, osteoblasts are the very active cells, immature cells, which are the active cells. Okay, very important, which hormone activates osteoblasts? Osteoblasts are, this is the bone forming cell, bone matrix forming cell, osteoblast. Fibroblast, osteoblast, chondroblast, erythroblast, these are blasts are, okay, they are especially those blasts, chondroblast, fibroblast, osteoblast. Okay, these are very important things. Okay, next one, increase the calcium deposition in the bone. That is called, that means these cells cause mineralization of the bone. In first year you learned differences between osteoblast and osteoclast. Bones become very strong because of this one, because it is depositing calcium in the bone. Hypercalcemic stimulate, hypercalcemia stimulate the release of this hormone. So okay, many students confuse here. When your calcium levels increase in our blood, and at that time this hormone is it comes there and it reduces calcium level. Okay, it is hypercalcemic condition, hypercalcemia stimulate the release of this hormone, and this hormone, when calcium levels increase, it takes that excess calcium and deposit. That's why it is called, it is hypocalcemia, it is reducing calcium. And it is antagonistic to, earlier I told you, it is antagonistic to PTH, parathyroid hormone. Okay, now we talk about functions of thyroxine in the next part.